The summer's Planet Cup in Russia could so be the recent one staged by Fair One Nation for several period as finance and policy considerations act an always increasing part in selecting hosts. In the price of the year's occasion steaming to $12 BN, soccer authorities and auction nations are looking at a ways of dividing the discouraging finance expenses and increase policy relationships. The reply is collaborative host. In 2002, Southward Korea and Japan together staged the Planet Cup, so down there already is a precedence. Time several Europe championships include as well been together posted. It tool the loading can be distribution while it comes to house new stadiums and support infrastructure facilities such as roads, railway and airports, as so as safety. Down there are content benefits of dividing the host of main events, not to refer creature politically feasible, says Simon Chadwick, prof of sport company at Salford Industry High School. It is a useful way of house a relation in a quantity of partners for policy need. Down there are benefits in regulation of specific price efficiencies. Down there are enormous finance issues about host expenses while it comes to Planet Hobby, Europe Championships and Olympic Games. The allocated events pattern may be the way striker while you believe the economical expenses of events host. Down there is already a collaborative USA-Canada-Mexico bid in to army the 2026 occasion, and Argentina, Uruguay and Paraguay are setting along a bid for the 2030 occasion. As aforementioned, Europe steering flesh UEFA has length been an advocate of host their main competition for world teams in more than rather than one nation. Kicking off in 2000, while the occasion was detained in the Netherlands and Belgium, it has later been staged in Austria, Switzerland in 2008 and Poland, Ukraine in 2012. And the finals of the 2020 Euros will be staged through 12 soccer nations to mark the 60th anniversary date of the at first competition. Ex-UEFA CEO Michel Platini was credited in the Euro 2020 pattern, but very the brains over the altar was Gianni Infantino, says Professor Chadwick. Former UEFA General Secretariat Mr. Infantino is now CEO of FIFA, and has talked of expansion the 2022 Planet Cup of 32 to 48 teams. As Qatar could not army house some of games, down there is say of earning in some nations in the area. While you see at the 2026 and 2030 tournaments, later Infantino may now chair above or really more than, Planet Hobby. How could accept a such kind of pattern to your 2020, says Professor Chadwick. He has an eye for hard to conciliate various partners above host. He is astute in how feeling. For FIFA the concept of a 2026 Planet Cup in the USA, Canada, Mexico, would be an economically and politically secure stock option following several of the issues about Qatar 2022, adds Professor Chadwick. The organizers of the bid complained it would do an $11 BN, pound, income for FIFA, and build $14 BN in income. US CEO Donald Trump card has been pounding the reel for the request, tweeting, "This US has put along a powerful bid W/Canada and Mexico for the 2026 Planet Bowl." Meantime in Southward America, Uruguay Sport Secretariat Fernando Caceres has explainable the argument over their designed bid for 2030. "We can't say which the definitive expenses will be to every of our countries, but it cannot be measurable just in the house of infrastructure facilities. Down there's an immaterial action, that is how lot a nation earns in cohabitation, in seamless integration, sameness and the building of nationality by host an occasion of the significance." David Davies is a ex-FA head execution and as well a soccer advisor whose examination is often named on by soccer associations and confederations globally. "I occur to believe how the concept of possessing 48 teams in Qatar will not occur," he says. "This policy will, I believe, is not down there. Yet I accept how collaborative host is in set conception currently. The basic spot is how more than countries can be implicated and gain of keeping main events. How is one of the objectives of such who are in official position of impact in the play, to go up in these kinds of proposals to distribution host to as lot different nations as they can. a collaborative polar, a SPID for 2026 would as well be recognized helpful politically, both of during the US and the provincial footballing flesh CONCACAF, says Mr. Davies. So time economical considerations are portion of the image, down there are ever above riding policy ones. Sean Hamill, lecturer at Birkbeck School's Sport Industry Center, says down there are just so lot countries who can army events such as Euros or Planet Hobby by themselves. Following the recent Euros in France, in 2016, I don't believe UEFA could discover any more than countries readily to get on the expenses. Down there has been a lot of study in sport mega event, or the balance sheet of view is how the economical benefits don't ever stack upwards, he says. In a Planet Cup you requirement a big quantity of world standard stadiums and it is a enormous finance load. So merger asset in regulation of stadiums to assist distribution how loading would seem logic.